everyone, this is Karen, and you're watching That Scene. Star Wars has always been circular, and that's why it's no surprise that there are similarities in the journeys between Anakin, Luke, and Rey, as they each navigate their parts of their trilogies. Rey's trials bear strong resemblances to those Anakin and Luke faced, and it's something that feels like it's by design. Rey's trip inside the Mirror Cave strongly resembles Luke's test on Dagobah against the specter of Vader, and the imagery even goes back further to Anakin's trip to the Well of the Dark Side in the Mortis trilogy in Star Wars, The Clone Wars. Each of these three experience visions from the Force, and each of them are tailored to their own unique destinies and problems.
The garbage will do!
In the Mortis trilogy, Anakin is shown what he will become, and when he learns this, he turns directly to the dark side, willing to embrace the evil in himself to prevent greater atrocities in the future. He sees himself as Vader, reflected in the vision, and this explains the key flaw in Anakin that terrifies Luke about Rey so much. Anakin is willing to go straight to the dark if he perceives a payoff in the light. Anakin is shown the worst of himself and embraces those same qualities before his mind is quickly wiped after he fails this test. Years later, on Dagobah, Yoda tells Luke that the only thing in the cave, which he describes as a domain of evil, is what he takes with him. When Yoda explains that he won't need his weapons either, Luke insists, bringing his lightsaber into the cave.
Your weapons. You will not need them.
And Luke is confronted with the thing he's most terrified of, Vader. Luke's mistake was bringing his lightsaber to confront Vader, but he didn't know then that he would need to discard it in favor of love in order to defeat Vader, though Yoda did warn him. And when he struck Vader, cutting his head off, what does he see? His own terrified face, reflected in his fear. Was this to mean that Vader was always a Skywalker, or that Luke could turn down the path of Vader? Like Anakin and Luke before her, Rey is called to a well of the dark side to confront her fear. For Rey, this fear is her lack of belonging and her emotional reliance on her parents.
At the end, it would show me what I came to see. My parents. Please.
And when she falls into the water and crawls out, this is the only request she has for the Dark Mirror. And what does it show her? That the belonging she sought comes from herself. She really was her own parent, her own guiding star that got her through the difficulties of life. It's also interesting to note that the imagery of Rey and Anakin's respective wells of the dark side are opposites. Anakin's is set deep in a flow of boiling lava, bright red and hot. Rey's is in a cold, damp place, surrounded by water. Luke's is a middle ground between the two in a steamy, swampy marsh, both hot and wet, a bridge between the two. All of these visions lead characters to similar situations, where they need to make life or death decisions based on revelations in their past. Thanks for watching, and please be sure to subscribe for videos on new upcoming movies.
Skywalker, missed you, have I?